I'll be honest. I'm not sure if this part of the process is interesting to anyone. I've been working as a video producer for 6 years. So let me end with the videos that came out of this contest that I ran. They're really great visuals and I'm really proud of them. And then let me rewind backwards to show you parts of the process like scheduling and grant proposals that I want to show that we got to lead up to here.
Happy and free with sin and sorrow is the man that comes to follow.
The coffee dripping in the pot, my eyes smart. When they open again, my life will be over.
Trembling fingertips in your mind, you can't quite quiet the words that emerge from days where your prayers are just words.
So those are just little clips from each of the 4 pieces. Each of them were 2 minutes total. It started with a grant proposal, and I'm not going to take you through the entire thing because grant proposals are not exactly the most interesting thing. As you can hear, this is a religious company, so this was a proposal to a religious organization asking to do something about Psalms and put them in a modern light. We wanted to run a contest, and here, just highlighting the parts of the proposal that were relevant to me as the director and the person in charge of getting this contest together. We wanted to do a call for talent of poets, writers, musicians between the ages of 21 and 35. 4 best entrants would win prizes. We'll engage with 50 people to make a class. We'll have lots of people submit. We'll end up with great pieces. We're going to get lots and lots of people to watch them. There'll be a curriculum involved. That was the scoop that mattered. And then there was other things in the proposal, which again, I won't get into. Here's our company. Here's where we have the ability to do it. And here's the influence it will have on the community. And writing grant proposals is definitely not my specialty. There's probably another video for that. This is not that one right there. Getting money is obviously a major thing. I start once there's that, here's what we want to do mission. So I started by creating a schedule, a Gantt chart, I guess would be the fancy term for it. I started in November, went to June. That's way too zoomed out for anyone to see. So let me just give you an idea. Each of these columns is a week. Each of these rows is a different item. So if we were to zoom in right here, here we go. We have Psalms contest, Psalms website, Psalms trailer, Psalms 1, Psalms 2, Psalms 3, Psalms 4. For the 4 windows, this is unrelated. Don't worry about that. And then each of these weeks is a different thing. So here it's setting up the trailer, the judges, the rules, the web pages, the marketing, all those little things that just, you need to set up if you're doing a contest. Who are the 4 judges going to be? How are we going to set up the website? Am I going to do a video trailer? How does that break down? Feel free to pause it on that to get more information. If you look, this one ends in January, then we give time for people to submit, and this one starts in March. We're going to record the people submit in professional, I almost said laboratories, in professional studios, and then we're going to the green represents animation. We had 6 weeks of animation to finish each piece, each being done by a separate artist. I would meanwhile need to actually find and hire those artists, but we're not there yet. And then finally launching it as in blue all the way in June and July, even though this started in November. And just to give you an idea, this is kind of the way that I like to organize my thoughts. There's other ways to do Gantt charts outside of Excel. I've tried Asana. I've tried Trello. They're great. I don't know. I'm just a simple person who likes crazy color coding and not too much specificity. So the yellow is this Psalms competition, and then these are other things that you don't need to worry about. I like to stagger the releases and then just plan accordingly. So getting away from the schedule, here, let me zoom into this a little bit. First thing I did, because it was easy and I like getting rid of the stuff that's easy, is I made a web page. Hey, if you're interested in entering, give us your name, give us your email, give us your phone number so you can take the class. Because technically, and again, I don't know what of this is interesting and what isn't. I'm just going to take you through the whole process, and I'm going to be really interested to hear what is and isn't interesting to different people. So we got all of their information. And then what we also did for this contest is we did a giant list of rules, which we had to talk with a lawyer about and cost more money than I care to admit. It wasn't like an insane amount, but the fact that it was any money spent on a pair of rules, a thing of rules, how much mind share went into this set of rules is insane, but we don't need to worry about it at all. Then the big thing was, how do we get people to submit to this contest? Because again, we want all of these entries so we can end up with really good pieces. And spoiler alert, we ended up with really good pieces. That's where the video started. But in order to get those people, it took a lot of legwork. So I had a friend of mine, this guy Hillel Smith, make a little thing that could be inserted in emails and be like, we're giving away $1,000 to poets and musicians. Isn't this great? Everyone submit. And then we went ahead and we submitted this, like that little thing here. We'll fill up your whole YouTube screen. It's as if I'm a video producer and don't know how to make videos. And then what we did is we made a list of something like 100, 200 different Jewish art organizations. It was places like Hillels at various universities, just Jewish art things. We Googled it. We looked around. We tried to find the right people. It took some legwork. And we wrote each of them individually saying, hey, we're running this contest. We want great people to be entered. Spread the word. And slowly they spread the word. Facebook groups, all of that. I even made a trailer. Here, it wasn't good. It's the very first thing I made at Bim Bam. So here, let me just see. I'm going to scrub through it. Here, let's hear this for a sec. Hi, I'm Jeremy from Godcast, Jewish nonprofit. All right, we're not going to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to scrub through it. Here's 1,000, all of that. One thing that I did do is there was this guy, Jeremiah Lockwood, who was playing in San Francisco, and we brought him in to kind of do a sample piece of here's kind of what we're thinking of for reinterpreting the Psalms. And here's what he did that I put in the trailer.
Take a text and to explore it.
Psalm 23, a Psalm of David. When I was a little boy, I used to run away from the dangers of my home.
And I mean, even that little sample right there was hopefully enough to inspire people. So from there was all sorts of other things involved with it. I had to make a lesson plan because, again, there needed to be a class. I combined forces with someone who actually knew how to teach classes because I'm not an educator. Here's some thumbnails from the video, and I believe this is the class right here. So just to kind of show you how janky the class was. It was just we don't want to spend the money on the class.
Hi, this is Jeremy Schuback. With me is Evan. I will be...
All right, well, it's stumbling a little bit because I didn't preload it. That's always great. But the big thing that I wanted to show you here as
start off is queue up a video. Before we do that, I just want to say we have...
I'm not going to even show you the class. I think it's unlisted right now. It got a total of 140 views, which probably means some of the people who submitted watched it. I very, very purposefully made it so you could submit to this contest without watching it because I knew watching a 50-minute video was going to make it so there weren't quite as many people who submitted. But putting that class together was fun, and I did learn a lot about Psalms, something that hadn't really interested me before. Anyway, Let's move on. I kind of want to jump into all of these things. I want to get into. We then waited a month and nobody submitted. We put all of this legwork into it and we're like, oh, please submit. We actually got to a point where we're like, if nobody submits, we'll just get some ringers and we'll have them do the final pieces and we'll say 4 people won because we need people to submit for the grant to be successful. But it didn't get there. We wouldn't do that. That's unethical and crazy. Let me play you a few of the submissions that we did end up getting basically in the last week. I think we got 80, 90 submissions of many more people than that who were interested, which was amazing. So let me play you the submissions that we weaned it down from.
I've been lost so many times, riddled with doubts and pain.
In fact, man is last in line. Last in a line of glory and splendor with all of creation.
Lord, will you? Lord, come on, will you? Answer my call when I fall.
When I wake the morning after, the spiderweb outside the window still gleams.
The moon tells us the time, a month is almost gone.
Sometimes I get anxious and my mind starts moving faster than a race car that was built for super speed. The light is burning bright, I'm always learning. To your light I'm turning. And if you will let me come inside and sit a little while, then Lord, I'll swear that I won't ask for nothing more.
So we got a lot of really cool submissions, which was such a relief, such a good feeling, and I knew the project was going to go somewhere. From there, we had judges take a look at it, and they wrote up these evaluations of here was the order. We did a spreadsheet kind of ranking their votes right there, which is just a spreadsheet ranking their votes. I don't know why I'm showing you this. And then it was a matter of hiring up the animator and getting all of those people into the recording studio. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about starting with something that sounded like this.
Dearest children of God the Almighty,
and turning it into a fully fleshed out piece that I am very, very proud of. So if you're interested, I'll upload that in a week or two, something like that. So hit subscribe, all of that. I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, honestly, this is probably the most boring parts of production, but it's the part that no one talks about. So I thought you might be interested. Please ask questions of other parts of production that you might have, because there's a lot I didn't cover, and already this video has gotten a little bit long in the tooth. It's weird to talk about this and not the art element of everything. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.